All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to build an elevator. You've probably seen lots of piston elevator tutorials. Um, the problem is that they do not work on Bedrock Edition. So how it always works is they use two sticky pistons, and then the piston vehicle goes up, and then it hits the wall, and then they press the button and it goes down. When you put that on Bedrock, it kind of just has a little seizure. It goes up and down randomly. It kind of does whatever it wants. So here I am on Bedrock. I'm also on Pocket Edition. I don't really want to hear it about Pocket Edition. I've always played Pocket Edition, but also this is just more proof that it definitely works on Bedrock if it works on Pocket Edition as well. And this should, in theory, work on Java. So what I'm going to do for my tutorials, I have laid out structure blocks. You don't have to use those, but this is just to show an outline of the section that I am showing how to build. I'm not going to build it block by block, but this just shows you the layer that we're building. So first off, I'm just going to show you the elevator functioning and a little disclaimer on how it works. You got to be careful. So this is floor number 1. We're going to press this and it goes down. I have these slabs here so that you don't bounce with these blocks like this. This way, you don't bounce. So you might want to move around a little bit. Stand still for too long, sometimes you sit through it. And then here we are on the bottom floor. So now, if you press up, it kind of just does that. You want to wait until the noise stops. So you have this button, flip direction. So there are pistons here. They're actually moving around the mechanism of the elevator. So it is now ready. And you go up. So that, now it moves again. Now you can see it moving. You can see if I drop down here, you can see the bottom floor, the top floor rising up, close to us. So something you want to be very careful about, it's a little messy. So you just want to make sure that you're aware of if it's flipped up or down. So you always want to press this button when you're done using it, or only once. Because if you were to try and make it go down without flipping around the pistons, here's what happens. So you hear how it's not stopping with the noise? Let me just show you what's going on down there. Yeah, so these pistons are now misaligned and the whole thing is screwed up. If that ever happens, you just break it. Only this part of the pistons, exactly what I broke. And then you're going to want to go down here and rebuild the elevator, and I'll show you how to build it later on in the video. All right, let's get started with the tutorial. Excuse me. All right, here's the first layer. And so you're probably going to want to pause to see how to build each one. I have the repeaters spaced, so for timing, probably here's your 1 pause. And then here's layer number 2. And then you put those torches there. So you don't have to use the stone that I'm using. You can use any block that can be powered by redstone. So what I mean is, like, if you were to put a lever on it and turn the lever on and put like redstone on top of that block, it would actually turn on the redstone. So like stone or quartz or wood would work, but you don't want to use something like a chest. That would just not work. So you can swap that out with whatever your base is built out of. And then you can see I'm using glazed terracotta and obsidian. So glazed terracotta, slime blocks and pistons can't actually move that. So if I were to do that, the slime block doesn't actually move that. You could use bedrock or obsidian if you want, but that's harder to find in survival if you're building this in survival. So that's why I'm using glazed terracotta. Glazed terracotta can be pushed out of the way with pistons. I'll show you an example of that. Here's just a little redstone tutorial for you, I guess, if you're new to this. You see I can push it with pistons. The sticky piston can't interact with it. So it's just a good block for slime blocks moving through. And it's kind of cheap. You can use any kind of glazed terracotta you want. Just make sure it's glazed terracotta. Heck, you can even use the new armored deepslate, I believe it is, reinforced deepslate. All right, and then here's layer number 2. So here we're starting with the actual pistons. They'll automatically extend this way based on how you have the torches set up. So this is going to be your main mechanism. Put redstone back there, and then you put redstone there. All right, moving on. You can see we're actually layering this chunk up with redstone. See that spacing over there, and then you got redstone there. And then we're layering up the elevator here. So you don't actually have to make these 4 blocks here. You don't have to use glazed terracotta. I just do to make it easier to keep track of. Well, just to make it easier, I just do that out of habit. Put that back there. And then over here, we're layering out our floor. Something you want to be careful with redstone, you don't want to put a block here like that, because then that happens. That's not good. You don't want that. So this is why I have spacing like that. You don't want to put a block here, because that'll cut off your redstone circuitry. So that's why I have this laid out this way. And then here's the next layer. And then I put a button here, flip directions, just to show what that button's for. You can use whatever button or sign you want. That does not matter. And then I have an arrow here just to tell you which direction the elevator is going to move. Now this, just to show you how the mechanism works, I have blocks set up here. So you press that, you see that piston moves there. That will trigger your elevator to start moving. So just to show you how this mechanism works, you see I have red and green blocks. Here's how it works. So it'll pull those out of the way. It basically just switches around those pistons. That is how I'm switching the direction of the elevator. As you can see, that's what you build. Here's your next layer. And this is just your tunnel where you walk through. This is actually where you'll be. And the rest of this is just void empty space. And then you can just build this as however high you want. Use glazed terracotta. And this is your elevator shaft, your elevator chamber. So that's what that looks like. You can build this however tall you want. It does not matter. I just built it this tall. Right. And that's the elevator car. That's for my reference, not necessarily for yours. But you can see I have a sticky piston and a normal piston here. So those will be swapped when I'm changing directions. So the sticky piston pulls and the normal piston pushes. And so that determines the direction of the elevator for more technical explanation. All right, now we'll be up here. Excuse my slow movement. All right, that is the next layer. I don't have it highlighted on this one. That was my mistake. As you can see, you build a platform there, and then you just build that little shape. And then you build that. It's kind of the same as the bottom floor. It's just a little trickier in how it works. So these aren't actually attached to anything. These are to make sure the elevator keeps moving. Sometimes it'll get stuck right here, and this just, when you put an observer like that, you see how it keeps going on and off? That is why that's there. That'll make sure the elevator doesn't get stuck anywhere. All right, here's your next layer. With some torches. Oh, I do believe that that does activate something. And never mind me saying that that's not hooked up to anything. All right, and then we have your next layer. Again, it looks pretty much the same as the bottom. This is just attached differently. So this ensures that the elevator doesn't get switched around weird. This will move pistons out of the way because you're the reason I have this set up is as your elevator moves, it'll try and grab onto those pistons and pull them along, and then it'll get stuck. So that's why I have this set up. So this section is important. All right, here's your next layer. And this has nothing to do with the layer. I tried making a way for the elevator to stop on a second floor, so you could have multiple floors for the elevator. That won't work. I tried arranging that, and the elevator just got stuck every time. So there's unfortunately no way yet that you can have the elevator stop at a floor and go up or down. You can only have a 2-floor elevator, if that makes sense. And I'm just moving in close so you can see the spacing of those repeaters. Here's your next layer. So you're building your floor. And then this will stop the elevator at the top floor. That's what those are for. You have a hole here. That is for your piston. Put a repeater up there. All right. And then you have your next layer. And then again, you have the flip direction sign, and you have your arrow pointing down this time. And then you see that if you press this, piston will move. I do not actually believe that this repeater has any purpose. I'm not sure why that's there, but you should probably just put it in there in case I'm just stupid and forgot what the purpose of that is. And then here's your next layer. This is the tunnel where you enter. Pretty simple. And then I just put a skylight up here. You can put whatever you want up here, just as long as this is the highest you can place any block on this elevator. Otherwise, you will be crushed in there, and that's not good. Just a specification on this part. I got to go in here and show you. That is a staircase. Just make sure that you can have your head up here, because that's where the elevator will stop, and this way you'll be able to walk down here. Same thing way down here. I have a staircase block instead of a full block, just for specification. And then, yeah, you have your skylight up here. That's about it. That's your elevator. All right, now for the actual elevator itself. So this is a little tricky. I don't know if you're building this on grass or inside a cave or whatever, but this is going to be a little tricky. You want to be careful as you're getting out of here that you don't break any redstone. So you have redstone circuitry lying around. So I have dug a little tunnel out here as a way to escape, because you're going to be going down here. So here's how to build this. Put those observers, you want to make sure that they are facing, the little arrow is facing backward. You can see the red dot, so that's facing that. Then you put one slime block there. And then we're just going to make it so that it's going to go up automatically. So you put your sticky piston here, normal piston here, and then put slime, and I'm going to put a slime right above that piston there. And then two more observers. So that's that spacing. And then I'm going to put a smooth stone slab here. And then I'm going to break that obsidian down there, and I'm going to go and face up. So put your smooth stone next to the other smooth stone. Put a slime block between those. And then you have your normal piston over here facing down, and your sticky piston right above your head facing down. Slime block, obsidian. And then you escape out your little hole that you made. And then if you did everything right, hopefully I did it right too, should move up. And that is how you make bedrock elevator. I take credit for the entire design. It is all my own. I did not get anything from anybody. The only credit I take is I saw a video one time of how to make a normal piston elevator in Java, and it didn't work when I built it. So I made my own versions. But the whole piston swapping design is my own. I don't give credit to anybody else. This is all mine. If you claim this to be your design, it's not. It may be yours, but I didn't get it from you. I got this from myself only. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this whole thing, thank you for sticking along. I really hope that this was helpful for you, and if you decide to build it in your world. It's not the best way to transportation. I realized that you could just use a bubble elevator and it would achieve the same thing. This is more about aesthetics than anything. This is more about how it looks than actual practicality. So if you want to impress someone, this is a good way to impress someone. But again, if you really want just a quick, easy way to go up or down, just make a bubble elevator. Just look up how to make a simple bubble elevator. But I hope this was helpful for you. This was helpful for me. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe, please.